Hello and welcome to another episode of Those Two I Am Guys. I'm James Kennedy. I'm here with my co-host Tony Earp, and we've got an interesting subject for you today. It's a new year, it's a new start. So Tony, let's tell them, what's it all about?
Hi James, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to our viewers and listeners. Hope 2022 is going to be an amazing one for you all. And as James says, today is a bit of a New Year reality check because we all need it from time to time. And this is really, James, for the new people to making money online, the ones that they've been thinking about starting a business online or making money online for some time and not got round to it, or the people that have just decided this as we've come into the new year. And I'm sure we both know one or two of those, don't we?
Yeah, and may I add, the people that started it last year and put it on the shelf, that might actually be looking at doing it again, because there's so many people start and stop as well. So yeah, this will be good for them all. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, procrastination's the evil devil, for any online entrepreneur or any entrepreneur in general. Yeah, you've got to break that cycle, guys, because if you never follow through, you're never going to actually achieve any goals, are you? Yeah. Exactly. And again, we're going to be covering a lot of the core things that you should be doing, James, throughout this episode, to hopefully just give people a really good reality check about what is required to make money online, because believe it or not, James, it's not easy.
Really? Go figure, eh? Yeah. No matter how much BS you listen to and how many skills copy. Yeah.
I think what we'll do to start the show is I want to save people a lot of time and a lot of money, James, as you do yourself. Yeah. So I think that we should let our viewers and listeners know the secret to making money online. Do you think we should share that?
Tony, I've spent tens of thousands of dollars to find out this secret.
Right. Well, I should have told you this, James, and then you could have saved all of that time and money and energy.
Okay, go for it. Share it. We love these people.
The secret is, guys, there is no secret. Exactly. Yeah. It's astounding, isn't it? But yeah, the secret is there is no secret, guys. It takes hard work, dedication, focus, all these things we'll be covering throughout this episode to build sustainable long-term business online. We're not talking about making $10 here, James, and then not making any more money for another 6 months. We're talking about building a long-term sustainable online business. And we're going to cover all those key things, those core things that you need to be doing throughout this episode. So, and hopefully that helps a few people.
So maybe a statement here would be, if you're lazy and you want to make money on autopilot, this is not the episode for you, nor is this the channel for you, because we're going to teach you real strategies. You can't lie in your bed all day and waking up to like mega money in your Warrior account, your JVZoo, your whatever it is, your PayPal account, without actually doing the work first. So if you're not prepared to do the work first, then you're probably best saving your money on any courses and your time on listening to any more things online.
Yeah, I think it's about setting out as you mean to go on, James, and treating what you're doing as a real business.
Business, without a doubt.
You've got to have the right mindset to do that. And a lot of what we're going to be covering today is about getting yourself in the right mindset to be successful. Yeah. Because a lot of people, believe it or not, they really do think that you can push a button and loads of money is going to jump into your bank account.
You can. It's called the gun.
It's called.
Give me your money.
Yeah, it's called shiny object syndrome, which does exist, James, as we both know.
Yeah.
And it's about amazing sales copy. Copywriters get paid a lot of money, guys, for a reason. And when we're talking about copy and copywriters, guys, this is the text that you're reading on a sales page or a landing page that's convincing you why you need to buy a particular product or service. Yeah. And the people that put all that text together in a sales format to make you want to buy that product or service are called copywriters, in case you weren't aware already. Yeah. And James, they do get paid a fortune, don't they, some of these copywriters?
Some of them are astounding figures. I mean, one of my favorites, and again, I love copywriters because I think being a hypnotist and an NLP practitioner, the persuasion element of the writing fascinates me. And one of my favorite guys was Gary Halbert. And again, guys, if you've not looked into anything from Gary Halbert, go and you've probably read some of his sales copy at one time or another, or a regurgitation of it from somebody else. But yeah, it's fascinating. And at one time, I believe that he was charging a minimum of $100,000 to write a sales letter, and he was on something like 20% of the profits of the product as well.
I think one thing I would say to all our viewers and listeners is go out there, look, find information on the psychology of selling, because it's going to help you in two ways. It's going to help you in your business, and also it's going to help you in your own personal life, James, because you'll know the triggers to look out for when you're being sold to. Yeah,
absolutely.
And all that helps arm you with all the information you need to make the correct buying decisions yourself in your own personal life.
Yeah, never see if you're desperate to make money. Put your, I can't remember, I think it was a guy called John Commuter, and he created a money saving course and a money course of some sort. And he says, put your credit cards inside a tin can and then fill it with water and freeze it. And then the time it melts, because you can't put that in the microwave, the time it melts, naturally, it gives you time to think about if you really want to make that purchase. And if you can't do that, because again, the FOMO kicks in, fear of missing out. You've only got 30 seconds left to buy this, or it'll be $1 gazillion tomorrow per month, obviously.
And that counter on the sales page is counting down the last 10 seconds. And like you say, you've got the FOMO there. And guess what, guys? When it hits zero, guess what happens again?
It restarts
down all over again, because it's an evergreen timer. Yeah. So if ever you hit zero on the sales page on the timer, guys, just refresh the page, and 99 times out of 100.
Yeah, on occasions there is genuine countdowns, but not often.
On very, very few occasions, James, there is real false scarcity, isn't there?
I've never met a marketer once.
Real false scarcity doesn't happen, but it is by far, lesser than more often.
Yeah. I've never met an online marketer that said, no, thank you, I don't want your money, you're 10 minutes late.
Yeah.
I'll never ever hear that conversation ever.
Well, I won't be saying that anyway, would you?
So. No, I'm like, come in, welcome.
Yeah. So, coming into the new year, James, where everyone's, of course, making their good old New Year's resolution, aren't we? We've all done that at some point throughout our lifetime, haven't we? And I'll tell you what happens because of that, James. People start making silly impulse purchases. So if we take the example of starting an online business, making money online, people will start paying silly money for training courses, etc., that are not really going to help them. And then when that course doesn't help them, guess what? They'll buy their next one. And guess what? That doesn't help them, or it contradicts what they've already learned, and they'll buy the next one. And before you know it, trust me, guys, I know people this has happened to, right? Before you know it, you're a year further on making a New Year's resolution. You've spent $10,000+ on training courses, just running around in circles, getting nowhere fast. Yeah. Please do not let that be you. Do not do any impulse purchases at this time of year. Yeah. There's certain things that you need to make decisions on that are going to set you out on the right path. And again, we're going to be discussing these throughout the episode, James. Yeah?
In all fairness, there is some great courses out there. But when
I'm not disputing that, yeah.
When you buy a great course and you don't actually apply it, and then you go and buy another course, and as you say, it contradicts, you would be better just of sticking with that one course. Again, doing your due diligence, as you say often.
Yeah, you've got to. And, I'm all for education, that. And I'm talking about something completely different here.
Yeah,
I'm talking about buying training courses that a lot of the time, James, are not even relevant to the niche the person is going into.
No, I know. I think that's something as well.
And getting into that cycle, getting to that perpetual cycle of learning, buying multiple courses, with the ones with the push button promises.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't like those ones.
No. And you need to avoid those at all costs, guys. Yeah. As I say, we're not talking about educating yourself here. I'm all for that. James is all for that. You should be doing that on a daily basis. I learn something new every single day. But, you need to be educating yourself about the right things, don't you?
Oh, exactly.
And you don't have to spend a lot of money, James. A lot of the time, you get stuff for free.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example from personal experience. This year, on my 2022 battle plan, one of the things that I've decided to do is that I really want to nail down, and you know this from our private conversations anyway, I really want to nail down paid traffic, specifically Facebook ads and YouTube ads. Now, I'm quite educated on Facebook ads because I've done a lot of education and research over the last year or so, and obviously you need to keep up to date speed with things because it's constantly changing, James, of course, and nothing stands still, does it? But I'm not, I know the basics of YouTube ads, but I've got gaps in my knowledge and I needed to fill those gaps in. So I started at the beginning of this year, before things got crazy again. I had a bit of, you know what I mean, a bit of peaceful time. I just sort of, do a little bit of research, do a bit of due diligence, and check out a few courses. And these were courses from a few $100s to a few $1,000s. And I looked at the content of these courses and whether they were relevant to the gaps in my knowledge that I wanted to fill in, and they were, to be fair. But guess what? I did a little bit more research and I came across a free training course that also had exactly the same course content that I've taken now and has filled in my gaps. Do you want to know where I got that course from for free?
Go on, Tony.
I know you like free, James.
I love free.
I got that training course, and it's excellent, by the way, guys, from the HubSpot Academy.
And the HubSpot Academy is free to join, is that right, Tony?
They have free levels, they have paid levels, but trust me, guys, go and check it out, HubSpot Academy. They've got lots, and again, all the resources we're going to mention during this episode, as we always do, I will put them in a post in the recommended resources area of our website, those2imguys.com. Okay, and the link to the HubSpot Academy will be one of those resources. But yeah, guys, I urge you, go and check this out. Some of the free training on there, in my opinion, is better than a lot of the stuff you'll pay for. Because, and I'll tell you why that is, James, yeah?
Yeah, I'm listening.
It's very easy these days for people to be experts and gurus, and it's a much overused phrase, isn't it? That a lot of the time isn't justified for the people using it, yeah? But one thing about HubSpot Academy is that the people that are giving you the training in a particular subject or topic, they are genuinely experts in their field. And they've got the credentials to back that up, yeah?
Definitely. And again, it's a platform, and if you don't know HubSpot, guys, HubSpot is like a CRM system, customer relationship management system, and they are top of their game. So when they're bringing in experts, they really are genuine experts, not somebody that bought a Udemy course last week and they're now professing to be an expert. They're bringing in people because they want to align themselves with quality experts, so that obviously it reflects the brand that they're promoting. So it's something well worth looking at.
Absolutely, James. Yeah, I urge our viewers and listeners to go and check it out. HubSpot Academy. You can't go wrong, guys, in my opinion. And they've got so many different topics and subjects there that you can educate yourself with for free. It's amazing, an amazing resource. You mentioned Udemy there, James.
Yes,
again, for low-cost courses, very, very good resource.
Some of them are excellent.
Yeah, I bought a few courses off there myself, James, and they've certainly helped me in what I needed help with at the time. Even Fiverr's got an education platform. Again, some really great low-cost courses on there. I know you're pretty au fait with Photoshop and stuff, yeah?
I'm not bad. I'm not bad.
I'm not, but I just signed up for a very low-cost, covering the basics of Photoshop course, which will just help me no end, James. It'll save me having to mind you all the time, basically.
For me, to be quite honest, I've from being a kid, the first computer I got a thing called Print Shop, and it was a piece of Commodore 64 software, and it was playing about and making wanted posters and things. And we're talking about using a dot matrix printer back in those days, so it wasn't quality, but I always had fun playing about with graphics. So when Photoshop came in, it blew me away because there was just too much to understand. And guys, if you think that you're ever going to understand the full of Photoshop, as soon as you do, then they've brought an update up. So don't think that you need to know everything. You just need to know that one thing that you need to know, and then you can go and learn the next thing that you need to know, and that's how you can build up a steady, reliable source of skills within a platform like that. You know.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem I see all the time, James, is people trying to run before they can walk.
Yeah.
They're trying to learn about advanced features of a particular software, but they don't even understand the basics.
Exactly. You know,
you're completely doing it the wrong way around there. Understand the basics, then move on to more advanced, advanced features. Yeah.
Sometimes, I mean, just going in and playing with a piece of software is good enough, you know, just to kind of, you get a feel for it. But ask experts. I mean, I had friends that were photographers, and I wanted to know how could I keep my eyes blue but turn my picture black and white and things like that. You know, simple things like that, just to play about as an entertainer. I was always looking to create a better poster and things like that, you know. So
and there's no doubt, James, that Photoshop is an amazing piece of graphic software, no doubt about that. But you know me, I'm a big fan of. What am I a fan of, James?
Free.
Not just free, but what am I a fan of? What other piece of software?
Oh,
we all pretty much have got.
Oh no,
PowerPoint. Yeah, but I think even you've learned, James, since we've been working a lot more together. There's a lot more to PowerPoint than people first realize.
It's
a
an
very powerful piece of
unbelievable resource.
Yeah, you can do a lot with PowerPoint that people don't even realize, guys.
Yeah, you know, I can remember I bought. Now I'm into my video animation and intros and outros and things like that. I love that stuff. And I can remember I bought a package off a guy, and these videos were, I mean, these were on point. These were sharp, hard hitting, really kind of funky, almost like MTV advert type stuff. It was incredible. And when I got it, it was a PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? It was literally a PowerPoint slide presentation.
I remember when I showed you the very, very first, very early demos of our scroll blockers project. Do you remember?
Yeah.
I sent you the video file, and when I told you they were PowerPoint, you were shocked that we could do those in PowerPoint, weren't you?
I couldn't believe it. And I'll be honest, I didn't like it. I'm going to be totally truthful on it. I didn't like it because I'm like, I don't really like PowerPoint. It's old fashioned. It's not for me. And then when I went in and had a play, I didn't realize how simple it was. It just, in actual fact, see, because it had several layers, it reminded me of Photoshop. It's like, oh, I can put that picture there. Oh, I can move this. I can make it bigger. It gave me much more flexibility with that and other kind of tools that I actually pay monthly recurrence for right now. And again, as you know, I'm a big advocate of videos, but I can do things with scroll blockers that I can't do with videos, you know. And it was like, wow, you know, taking my little kind of animated character and making them massive, or putting them in a corner, or whatever I want to do.
I honestly would say, guys, to all our viewers and listeners, do not underestimate the power of PowerPoint.
I was waiting on you saying don't underestimate.
There's way more to PowerPoint than people first realize, James.
Oh, definitely.
And before going to the expense of some fancy graphic software, getting yourself involved in a monthly subscription, especially when you're just starting out your business, so it's relevant to what we're talking about right now, and you want to keep your costs down, look at PowerPoint.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
You'll be amazed. And what I'll actually do, James, I'll put this playlist on our those2iamguys.com website. I've got a playlist of 40 PowerPoint tutorials covering both beginner and advanced levels.
Excellent.
So for our viewers and listeners, I'll put a playlist of those on our website.
What a great New Year's gift.
And if you want to sort of educate yourself more about PowerPoint for free, there's 40 videos, guys, so it's pretty comprehensive. Yeah. So
don't have to do it all at one time, though.
Sorry?
They don't have to do it all at one time.
No, of course not. Do it in bite-sized chunks, yeah. And over a few days or a week or whatever, you'll fully educate yourself about the power of PowerPoint.
Yeah, absolutely. Great.
So we'll do that again in the recommended resources. We've already covered the secret to making online, James. So what's the secret again, just to remind everybody?
No secret whatsoever.
There's no secret.
Better work. And realistic expectations.
I would say the three things that hold people back from actually starting to build their business online is we've already, well, there's 4 actually, but we've already covered one of them, procrastination. Yeah. The other 3 are, they don't take action, James.
Yeah.
They keep thinking about it. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. Yeah. And again, how many people are prepared to, and we've talked about this in private, they'll watch TV for 5 hours a night.
Yeah.
But they want to change their financial situation, but they're not prepared to spend a couple of hours a day to start building their online business and change, which is going to lead to changing their financial situation. It astounds me. Yeah, absolutely. So that's, sorry, James, go on.
And I was going to say something as well. You know, I mean, obviously we're talking about not impulse buying things, but again, there's a great saying I like: follow one course until success. Okay. So, and that doesn't need to be like a course, but a course of action, you know. Follow that one thing instead of trying to pull yourself in 20 different ways online making money. Find out what you want to do.
That leads nicely into what I was going to say, James, because again, this is a New Year reality check, and the reality is some people have just got no discipline.
True.
And those are the people, if that's you guys, it's going to cost you not having that discipline, because you're going to need a mentor.
Yep.
You're going to need a mentor and join a mentorship program. I'll say it out loud here right now. Great UK marketer, John Thornhill. He's got a great mentorship program. You know, it's not cheap. I think it's a couple of $1,000. But trust me, by the time he's took you under his wing, and I'm not saying this as an affiliate, guys, I'm saying this because I know what he delivers, and I know it's quality training, James. Yeah. So if you're the sort of person that needs a mentor, you could do worse than checking out John Thornhill's mentorship course. But as I just said, James, it costs for that privilege, doesn't it? You know what I mean?
I was going to say, you're going to have to, and I've always said this in all of our calls, you're going to have to pay in one way. You're either going to have to pay by time or you're going to pay in money, you know. And again, something I want to probably add to that as well. No man's an island, you know. I mean, you can't learn how to do everything yourself. Sometimes you might need to spend a couple of bucks here or there to outsource one little task. Like, for example, Tony, when you need graphic stuff done, I do it. You know, when I need a VSL done or something like that, or I need a sales page created or something, I ask you, you know. And there's things like that, you know. It's about finding people that you can either trade skills off against, get one good skill yourself so that you can trade it with other people, or get paid for it so you can then pay other people with the money that you make from that.
What it boils down to, James, is there's really is only 2 options. You either learn to do it yourself or you pay somebody to do it for you. That's it.
Yeah.
And don't let anybody try and convince you of anything different than that, guys, because that really is, but when it boils down to it, that's your 2 options.
You're paying time or money.
But if you're the sort of person that really isn't disciplined, I'm super disciplined, James, you know that. And
you're something else.
I'm a bit of a perfectionist as well, aren't I?
A maniac.
It can be annoying at times. I know it can be for you, and I apologize publicly for that now.
This is the 7th video that we've actually done of this, guys. I'm not joking.
No, but you know, that's just me. And sometimes, especially in a partnership or, you know, a group situation, you need people with different skill sets, don't you?
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
You know, different tweaks, shall we say, you know, their own personalities to put into the project.
I heard yesterday, it takes a village to run a business, not just a man or a woman, you know. It takes a village.
Totally agree. And guys, going back to discipline, if you're the sort of person that is not self-disciplined, get yourself a mentor, because that's going to help you with that discipline, and it's going to, you'll have somebody that you're accountable to. And accountability is everything, you know.
And there is options out there. I mean, there's various mentorship programs and there are various people that you can reach out again. And it doesn't always have to be a paid course. If you, I mean, I would quite comfortably say, Tony, that you're one of my mentors, and I don't pay you for the privilege.
Appreciate that,
But we've built a relationship, and obviously I reach out to you and I ask you questions, and you can give me your sage advice on things. And again, I suppose if in other things that you maybe not understand that I've maybe been doing, I can reach out and give you advice. It kind of works both ways. It doesn't always have to be someone's the kind of always knows the right thing.
No, it doesn't have to be an out and out mentorship course, does it?
No.
You could join a group of like-minded people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because in any group, in any Facebook group, James, you've got a group of people that have got a wealth of varying life experiences and skill sets.
Absolutely.
And you can tap into that. And most of those groups are really helpful because you all end up helping each other. You ask a question, somebody knows the answer. That's certainly the case in my mastermind group, even though my group is a paid group. There are other groups that are free, James, aren't they?
Absolutely. And I'll put a caveat in there as well, as always be willing to give of yourself, because if you're only going to be one of those people that takes, then you're not going to build good relationships there.
No,
yeah,
you've got to give back. Totally agree. And talking about groups as well, I think we've just made ours live, James, haven't we?
We've just made those 2 IM guys Facebook group live.
Yeah.
So again, that's going to be an option for our people that.
Yeah, we're going to be growing that, aren't we, James, over this year?
We're planning on really, and again, obviously it's a free group, so don't expect 24/7 support on it, because obviously we're running our businesses, but we're going to be kind of sharing some thought-provoking ideas in there, asking questions that will just challenge you, and obviously just sharing some resources and knowledge within that group, you know. And anything. Again, if there's any products or anything that we do talk about in there, it's because we are using them ourselves. It's not a pitch fest. So don't think you're coming in to be sold to on a daily basis. That's not what it is.
No, definitely not. I think ultimately what we want that group to be is a place where, you know, anybody of any level, you know, whatever level they're at in their business journey, James, online, they can go in there and ask questions, and we will have a community where somebody will be able to help them. That's the aim of the group in the long term.
And that little focus I made a little graphic up earlier. Focus, you know, follow one course until success. I'm going to put that little graphic in there so that if anybody wants to, they can download it and print it and put it on their wall. Because see, when you kind of say, oh gosh, what's happening outside the window, focus on one course until success, you know. Because as I say, if you're not a disciplined person, and I'm not as disciplined as you, there's no chance I am, but I need to work hard at staying focused. And a lot of you will be like me, you know.
Yeah, and again, everyone's different, James. You know, some people may need a mentor because of that. But self-discipline is a key thing you need to be successful. Not just on making money online or an online business, in any business. You know, it could be a physical business, an offline business.
I mean, I've got some myself.
We know the evils are procrastination, James, not taking action. Another one, lack of focus. You already mentioned that. And when we're talking about focus, guys, we're not talking about focusing for 10 minutes or an hour. We're talking about focusing on something that's going to be an income stream for you for the next 6 to 12 months, probably.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And the other thing that I see all the time with people genuinely whinging about not making money. I've been doing this for 6 months and I'm not making any money online. Whinge, all the excuses under the book. When you actually get into why they're not succeeding, it's because there's no consistency, James. They're working 2 hours, they're doing nothing for a month. Or they'll post one blog post and do nothing more for 5 weeks.
I feel that pain.
Guys, if that is you and you can't change from that, don't waste your time. You will never earn money online doing that.
I run a mentor group and I have got a few people that come in and give me that. Literally, you could have wrote their script for them. And again, as I say, it's like, what have you done? Oh, but I've done this. I've done a story on Facebook. Why am I not rich yet? That's not how it works. You need to be consistent.
It's a bit like when somebody, you know, and you've seen them and I've seen them on Facebook, these mega posts that are supposed to be inspirational that 2 people end up seeing. But for some reason, people think social media is this like magic, this magic platform. That's
as if you're paying for it. As if you're paying for the views. But
you know, again, paid traffic's a completely different animal,
Yeah.
of course, but we're talking about just organic posts here, James, you know?
Yeah, I mean, Facebook absolutely slice away the opportunity for you to see as many, for those people to see as much. You might have a 5,000 audience, but that's not saying that 5,000 people, this will show up in their timeline.
But why do they do that, James?
For
Why?
revenue.
Because they're a business.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't get that. They think it's what do you call him? I forgot his name now. Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg, the gift that keeps on giving. No, he's not. He set this up. He's a billionaire. You know, he's a billionaire for a reason, because he's making money from this platform, from advertising. He didn't do it for the fun. When it started off, it was a fun project and it took off. After that opportunity was there, I mean, go watch his video, go watch the movie, and watch how cutthroat it really is. You know, he's not there. He's not your friend. He's there for you. You're a number on the system to make more value to the platform. Just remember that. You're blocked on Facebook now.
Yeah, totally. I totally agree with everything you said there, though. It really is the truth at the end of the day, and that's what this new year reality check's all about. This episode is all about, James, isn't it? Let's just summarize these 4 key things we're talking about, because they're critical to having online success and making money online. So don't procrastinate, guys. Take action, focus, and be consistent. If you do that, I can pretty much guarantee that you will have some sort of success relatively quickly. And when I say relatively quickly, I'm talking 6 to 12 months.
Yes.
Not in 5 minutes by pressing the button,
And if you're not prepared to put 6 to 12 months into the project, then don't do it, guys. You know, just stick with your 9-to-5 job or whatever it is that you're doing. Find a conventional way to make money, because if you're not prepared to put the time and effort and hard work and more work into this than you ever would for an employer, if you're not prepared to do that, then this will not pay off for you, not unless you're exceptionally lucky and you just hit on something by sheer chance. But that's 1 in a million. You would be better going and buying a lotto ticket.
I think a lot of people, the problem for a lot of people, James, is they don't know where to start. And it's real simple, guys. Start with what you're passionate about. There's no point just developing a training course or a software or, you know, whatever it is you're going to do, you know, an e-commerce store, whatever. You've got to be solving a solution or a problem for somebody. And that all starts with market research. Once you've done that and you've identified a problem, and your product, whether that be your software, you know, your educational training course, your e-commerce store, whatever the case may be, if that solves if that's a solution to the problem, then fantastic. You've got a market to sell to then, James, haven't you? But you've got to start somewhere, and you've got to do that market research. I would say, if you're a particular expert in something, focus on that first, because you're going to be passionate about it.
Yes.
Completely decide on what you're doing, on your niche, on your product or your service, and completely focus on that for the next 6 to 12 months. And be consistent.
I was going to say, when I'm teaching my students in my mentor group, I talk about if they want to create a product, and obviously everybody seems to want to make a product and they make money online niche. And I ask the question, what is it you do now? What have you been doing for the last 5, 10, 15 years? Are you good at it? Yeah. Can you show other people how to do that? Yeah. Can you show them how to make a living doing that? Yeah. Well, that's the first product, because you're going to learn the process of creating a product, but you don't have to go and learn what the product's going to be about, because you know it inside out and back to front. But once you've done that, then potentially you can make other products on the back of that later on.
I'm going to be controversial here.
Go on then. I like it.
I'm in that sort of a mood, you know. And I'm going to tell all our viewers and listeners out there, guys, if you want to make money online, stop buying make money online courses.
Very controversial. You're right, but
controversial.
true. I mean, as I say, the shiny object syndrome is a real thing, guys. I've had it. Tony's had it. You know, anybody that's been looking at the online opportunity, and when I say the online opportunity, that can be make money online. Years ago, it was cut out these craft things and post them, and we'll pay. It was mail order products. The shiny objects.
I'll tell you what I see, James. I'll tell you what I see all the time, and this basically directly correlates to what you were just saying.
Yeah.
What I see all the time is you'll have a particular vendor. I'm not going to name any vendors, but there's a lot of them out there that me and you both know.
Yeah.
Okay. But you'll have customers that will buy every single course that these people ever bring out. And let's say they bought the 16th course, the latest 16th, greatest and most brilliant course. They bought course 16. They've never made a penny off the previous 15, James.
Yeah.
So why would you buy the 16th course? It makes no logical sense to me.
No logical sense at all. But I've heard this say, I've actually asked people this question and say, but I really like that vendor. He's a really nice guy. I'm like, yeah, he can be a really nice guy. And you know,
he's a really nice guy because you're making him tons of money.
Yeah, and that's why he loves you so much, you know. But I mean, the reality is there is some of these products that are coming out and they work. But if it can be one of two things here. And this is what I would say to anybody that's watching this video. If you have bought many products from one or two vendors in particular, or whoever it may be, I want you to go and grab the latest one that you bought. And I want you to go through the process and actually make it work for you. Because if that product doesn't work after you go through the process and do exactly what they say, don't try and cut any corners, follow every video, do exactly what they tell you. If it doesn't work, then you should stop buying from that vendor, okay? Yeah. Or give them the benefit of the doubt. If they're a really nice guy, go back to the one that you bought before that one and do the same again.
Yeah. And again, this episode is all about a new year reality check, James.
Yeah.
And I think people need to be really honest with themselves. If they've bought 10 plus courses off a particular vendor and never made any money, why is that? It's either the training doesn't work if you followed everything to the exact letter and done more. If you're not making money, there's a reason for that. The strategies don't work.
Yeah, exactly.
Simple as that. The other thing you've got to be honest with is, have you actually followed through? Have you actually followed the training A to Z? Have you actually done everything above and beyond that was asked of you to follow that strategy, follow that system to potentially make you money online? If you can tick all those boxes to say, yes, I did, yes, I did, yes, I did, then stop buying courses from those vendors, because guess what, guys? They don't work. There's only one person making money in that situation, and that is the vendor,
And in all fairness to some of the vendors, a lot of them have got integrity. They've got teams behind them that have got a concept that genuinely does work. And a lot of the people that are buying them are lazy because they're looking for a push button experience. And sometimes, in all fairness, that can be misleading with the copy that they bought it with. But when you get in there and realize that it's actually going to take a bit more work than you actually thought it was, then you shut it down and you don't do anything with it. But if you're that guy that does that and you're lazy with that product, then you're going to be lazy with the next product and the next 30 products that you buy. So stop wasting your money and go and spend it on something fun.
Stop wasting your money. And the other thing it'll do, James, as well, for your mentality, is it makes you disillusioned.
Yeah.
Which is not where you want to be in your mindset, is it?
No. Because everybody, I mean, let's be honest, Tony, if you had to tell people, oh, I'm an online affiliate marketer, you're a con man, you're a scammer, you're something. No, I can wholeheartedly put my name in front of anything that I release or anything that you've released that I've got a hold of. Everything that you give, and you always over deliver in your products. And again, that's why we kind of had a bond, because there was, out of all of the vendors that were out there and I was an affiliate marketer, there was only just a couple that I really related to, and you were one of those people, you know.
And I truly appreciate that, mate. I really do. It's nice to hear it. You know, when you hear things like that, not just from obviously somebody you work with closely like yourself, but you know you're doing something right, don't you? So,
and I mean, I think if we're being true to yourself, making money doing this is great. That's fine. But from an absolute egotistical point of view, see actually being able to put a product out there and somebody buys it and you change their life, that's worth more money than they could ever afford to pay.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, because it's like, I've took that person that's maybe lost her husband and she's at home and she's struggling. She's either choosing whether she eats or she puts the heating on. And I show them a simple way to do a few different things, and it makes them a little bit extra money to change their life. That is massive to me.
I applaud that. Yeah, I applaud
you
that,
know,
and my sentiments are exactly the same.
Yeah. So as I say,
focus on helping people, guys, when you're creating your products, whatever that may be.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's an e-commerce store or whether it's a training course that you're an expert in, or whether you're developing some sort of software or even a WordPress stream or plugin, focus on helping people, solving problems and giving them solutions to those problems.
I'm going to put something in here really controversial. Okay.
Go for it.
Think of your people that are buying this as either stupid or super lazy, right? And it's not that they are, but if you think that they're stupid, I don't mean stupid, but I mean like not very clever.
Yeah.
Because if you make it overcomplicated, they'll never take action.
Yeah.
And
sorry, James, go on.
And if it's, and again, think of them as lazy, because if it's so labor intensive to get them to where they need to be, then they'll never go through the process. If you can dumb it down, and there will be people that will come in, and no matter how simple you make it, it'll still be too hard because their mindset is not right. But if you can think of those two things, that's a really good starting point. And it's not disrespectful to your people, it's to think of how you can, for you to make it happen a lot easier, if that makes
it's no surprise, James, that some of the best-selling products are done for you solutions, isn't it? People love done for you. I do myself. If I can buy something that's done for me, that's going to save me time, fantastic.
It's the most valuable resource that you'll ever have, Tony, is your time. So anything, it's not even lazy.
Just touching back on vendors for a second, because again, New Year reality check. I think one thing we can both agree on is that for every one good vendor, you've probably got 100 bad ones.
Yeah. So
this is why you really do need to be careful what you're buying, guys. Do your research and, as I always say, your due diligence, because don't be giving your money away easily. If you're going to be investing in something, make sure it's going to educate you for the right reasons, it's going to solve a problem for you, or it's going to make you money. If you're not buying for one of those three reasons, why are you buying it for?
Yeah. Because the status symbol isn't the reason to buy it, you know. No. Yeah, I've got an online business. How much did you make last year? Oh, nothing. I lost a fortune. You know, so you're not buying for status, you know.
Yeah, and another thing that I see regularly, that I've observed regularly, James, of why people struggle starting out on the journey, you know, building a business and making money online, is they overthink it.
There's got to be a secret, Tony.
Yeah.
There's got to be a solution.
And we already know what that secret is, James, don't we?
Hard work. No secret.
Yeah, there is no secret. we won't keep banging on about that, guys, but it is the truth. But yeah, you know, people way overthink what they're doing, and that's why taking action, defining your niche, focusing on that and being consistent is going to stop that. It's going to stop you overthinking, James, because you're actually doing it. You're actually doing something about it and constantly moving forward. Yeah,
totally agree, Tony. Absolutely.
Yeah. Another thing as well. Again, I see and hear this a lot when I'm chatting to people, is, you know, the fear of failure. Oh, what happens if I fail? What happens if it doesn't work?
There's no guys to shoot you in the head.
Again, New Year reality check. The chances of you making a lot of money online straight off the bat on your first go is unheard of, pretty much. Yeah,
agreed.
So forget the fear of failure. Yeah, you need to prepare yourself to fail, basically.
Fail fast and fail often.
Yeah,
because
there's not an entrepreneur, a successful entrepreneur on the planet that hasn't failed.
Yeah, and I'll agree with that.
There's plenty of YouTube footage out there, or other, you know, free information where you can go and watch the real gurus that will tell you that. They'll tell you about their failures before they have success.
Oh yeah. I mean,
so you need to get over that fear of failure and prepare to fail, because it will happen.
oh, absolutely.
For every product I launch, James, for every 5 products I launch, there's probably 3 that do really well and 2 that don't, do mediocre.
That's pretty good odds, in all fairness.
Yeah, but there's no exact science to it.
No, there isn't.
There's so many different factors that would go into why some products sell better than others.
Yeah.
But this episode is way too short in the time that we've got available to discuss that any further. But
you put in push button and done for you on the title, then it's a winner.
Yeah. I'll tell you the other thing as well, guys, with those sort of products. I know we're joking about it, but it's got a serious side as well. With those push button, make $1 million in your bank account in 5 minutes products, you try getting a refund off these guys. You can if you buy those and you log into the members area and you know it's a lie, you've been told lies, which inevitably you will have done. You try applying for a refund. I saw, how outrageous is this, James? I saw a sales page the other day, and it's not uncommon to see this, to be honest with you, but there's one in particular that I just happened to stumble across, and it said, if you don't earn money using this product, I'll give you $300.
Okay.
Really? Do you think that's going to happen, James?
It's a bold statement. Yeah, I think what they're going to do is they're going to buy something off you for $1. You earn money. What are you talking about?
Yeah, and another thing I want to discuss in this episode as well, again, it's all about New Year reality check. So it's a look at the people you surround yourself with. And we're talking about your friends and family here, James, as well. The conversations we have between ourselves, in these episodes and in our online communities, James, can you have those sort of conversations with your immediate family and friends? I know I can't.
No, not really. No, as I say, I can have certain conversations with my wife, but my wife in a lot of ways doesn't get the online thing. She's kind of a bit more kind of traditional. She's an ex-police officer. So there's certain things that we can talk about, and there's certain things that it's just pointless talking about because she just doesn't get it. And again, it's surrounding yourself with people that either understand where you're coming from or have got the attitude to at least try and absorb what you're doing,
Yeah,
there's so much negativity out there.
I know we're talking about family and friends, but they're human beings, at the end of the day, and they've got all the faults that go with that. And we want to do well. We want to encourage people to do well, James, and make money online. Not everybody's like that.
No.
In my experience, especially from close family and friends, they want you to do well, but they don't want you to do better than them.
No, they certainly don't.
And that's where the jealousy comes in. If you start having a bit of success,
yeah,
and prepare yourself for that, guys.
Yeah.
When you tell close family and friends, "Oh, I'm starting an online business," prepare for the negativity because it will happen.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you can't get rid of your family. I'm not suggesting that for 1 minute. But
I've got a guy.
I would stop having those conversations.
Yeah.
With them, because you're going to get nowhere. It's going to go over their heads. They don't have the same mental mindset as you.
Mm-hmm. Again, you don't have to be secretive about it, but you just don't need to get into it in any great detail. Just say, I'm working on an online project, and just leave it at that, And
ultimately, go online, surround yourself, whether that be a mentor, a mentorship group, a free group like what myself and James have got, and there's other great free ones out there if you do your research. Surround yourself, guys, by like-minded, positive people that have all got the same end goal and objective as you. Because you can all bounce off each other. When you're having conversations like we're having today, they will understand exactly what you're talking about and what you're saying, as you will about what they say to you.
And the beautiful thing, I was going to say, Tony, the beautiful thing about technology today is you're down in Devon, I'm up here in Glasgow, and you could be in Brazil You could be in China, you could be in America, Australia. It wouldn't really matter. The only thing would be the time difference, and we would have to meet up at a time that suited us both. But you can create contacts with people, and you can leave them a message, and they can get back to you when they get out of their bed. And the world is so much smaller due to the internet. Absolutely. And the tools are so advanced.
When we do our when we do our review episodes, James, and we have guests on, usually we're fighting time zones all the time, aren't we? With that situation,
it's a challenge.
Obviously, we're in the UK. Some of the people we speak to are in Australia. They're in the States. They're in Canada. You know, so you're constantly fighting time zones all the time when you work up.
See, when we're talking about this, I want to kind of put this little tip in as well. You know your body, guys, right? You know, because Tony's a night owl, I'm an early bird. You know, so we have to kind of find a time that's going to work. I mean, Tony will contact me at 12 at night. We go like, I'm like, I'm sleeping. You know, and again, I'll reply to Tony's messages at 6 a.m. You know, and he's like, I'll see that at 9. You know,
that is the truth, though, James, isn't it? You know, you're usually messaging me in the morning when I'm just not coherent. Yeah, and I'm messaging you at midnight
when I'm not coherent. But we can pick these messages up. I don't need to have a one-to-one instant chat with you. I can see what you're saying. I'll absorb that when I'm ready to absorb it, and then I'll get back to you. You know, and just be aware that if you're a person that is a morning person, and you can, let's go crazy here, and you've got a family, but you can get up early and you don't have anything on in the afternoon. Get yourself up at 4 in the morning, where you can get 2 or 3 solid hours in before anybody else in the house wakes up. Because those 2 or 3 hours before, again, offices and sales calls about PPI and you were in a car crash and all that nonsense, the distractions of the daily life, the postman coming to the door, etc., etc. Those 2 or 3 hours when you have the opportunity to get those. Now, Tony does it at the other side. Tony does it at kind of 10 o'clock to maybe 1 o'clock in the morning. And I mean, I don't know how much is those, if you put 3 hours in then at that time, comparable to a day, a 9 to 5.
I'm more productive working in the evening or in the early hours of the morning, James.
Yeah, exactly. And you can get so much done when you've got no distractions.
And again, everyone's individual. You need to find out what works for you. There's no set formula, is there? No set science behind it.
Absolutely. I mean, I've got a great luxury here where in my office, I've actually got a separate bedroom through here where when I'm being creative, I go there to sleep, because I know that I'm going to get half an hour sleep and I'm going to be on my laptop half the night. Or I wake up at 3 in the morning with a harebrained idea that I think that's going to be a great product, and I get it down.
But you know something, this is where one of the core things we mentioned comes in, the focus.
Yeah.
It's whatever works for you guys. Whenever you can focus, whether that be, 4 in the morning, 10 o'clock in the morning, 10 at night, midnight, whatever works for you. Whenever, I appreciate people have got families, people have got kids running around. I don't have that now because all my children are grown up and got their own families. So we only have that situation when the grandchildren visit now, James, and you can hand them back. But, I appreciate a lot of younger entrepreneurs still have that situation.
Like myself.
And the best time for them to be able to focus and get the work done is late at night when all the children are in bed or whatever. Yeah. So find out, like James says, find out what works for you guys and when's your most productive time. Simple as that. But just going back to what we were saying, James, definitely make sure that you remove the negative people and the negative influences from around you.
Yeah, it's like
cancer. All that will be, James, is a distraction, won't it? And it's a distraction you do not need. Yeah. So surround yourself with like-minded people that have got the same goals and objectives as you. Yeah.
And it's amazing how much you can get from those relationships. I mean, like some of the conversations we have, and before we know it, we've got 3 or 4 new ideas for products or services or whatever it may be. Just be kind of opening your mind to possibilities, and that's...
James, I've got my experience and my skill set. So have you. But we don't know everything. But guess what? If we don't know something, where can we find it out? Pretty much in the group, can't we?
Yeah, absolutely. We always know somebody.
We've got some amazing like-minded people in the community there from all over the globe.
Yeah.
all different ages, all different life experiences, all different backgrounds. So you've got that wealth of experience and knowledge to tap into.
Yeah.
How valuable is that?
Yeah, it's insane. It's absolutely insane, you know. And again, I mean, I love the fact that, again, we're going to be working in those 2 IM guys, but we've got your mentor group already, your mastermind group. And as I say, having those kind of things, being involved in certain things like that, it makes a huge difference, because it feels great when somebody reaches out to help you, but there's nothing better than reaching out to help somebody else. That guy's successful.
And
I did that. I helped him with that.
It's little situations like that, James, that people remember the most.
Of course it is. Of course
it is. You know, from the online community that we're part of, we know everybody appreciates each other, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we've all got busy lives, we've all got stuff to do, but guys, if you can't take 5 minutes of your day to help somebody, you know, a like-minded person with a particular problem they've got, then it's a sad life, really, James, isn't it?
It's a sad life, but also don't expect them to take 5 minutes out for you when you need it, you know?
No, not at all. I mean, you don't, you know, it's corny, isn't it? But you don't give to receive, do you? So
but when you need a hand and somebody doesn't, you know, I mean,
in my experience though, and I'm sure it's the same for you the majority of the time, when you help somebody in our communities, they will always, if they can reciprocate, do the same for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it's human nature, you know, and I talk about this quite often. You know, when you get a charity sending you a free pen through the mail,
you
know, and they ask you to sponsor them for £4 a month or something like that, you know, they've given you like a high quality pen, you know, it's metal, it has your name on it, or it's something really quite pretty, and you think, gosh, that's at least a £20 pen. Gosh, they've sent me this £20 pen. You know, you feel that you need to give back, even though the pen cost them less than £1, because they bought millions of them. But it's perceived value, and humans by nature don't want to be beholden to anybody else. You know?
Well, yeah, I think the one thing I'll take your point, and I think the one thing we can definitely agree on is remove the negative people and influences from your life, guys, because it's just a distraction. You don't need it. You're never going to convince people with that mindset of anything different than what they think. So you just don't waste your breath, don't waste your energy, and you just, you know, crack on and focus on what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. And an analogy, one that my wife shared with me, you know,
I knew something was coming because I saw you smile.
Yeah, it was just, as you were talking about that, you can't obviously try to argue with an idiot or someone that just doesn't get what you do. It's like trying to play chess with a pigeon. You know, I'll knock all the pieces down, shit on the board, and walk off with his chest. You know, and it's just a mentality. You know,
something that comes to mind, James. If you stay around people like that, you stay around those negative people and those negative influences. What happens is there's an old marketing term called SNIOP, SNIOP. And what it stands for is you become subject to the negative influences of other people.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And you don't want that, guys. That's the last thing you want. So again, remove the negative people and any negative influences from around you. Surround yourself only with like-minded people that have got the same goals and objectives.
And another one before we go, while we're on that subject, if you're the smartest person in the room, then you're in the wrong room. Yeah. Because there's nothing for you to learn in there. There's nothing for you to gain there. So you need to level up.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, guys, if you want to succeed and start off in the right, with the right mindset and in the right frame of mind, as we've said, you need to decide first of all what niche you're going to follow, then completely focus yourself on that, and most importantly, be consistent. Because without that consistency, James, you just change your background.
Yes, I just needed more space, Tony.
All right, fair enough. Oh my God, it wouldn't be an episode of those 2 IM guys without a James pun, would it? Or a cheesy pun at that. Yeah. So I think it's fair to say, guys, if people focus on the niche that they've chosen and be consistent, they've got a really good chance of being successful if they do it for long enough.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And most importantly, set yourself targets and goals, guys. Like myself and James with our YouTube channel, because we're not doing as well as we want to do at this stage, James, with the YouTube channel, are we?
No, not
But
as
we're doing really amazing with the podcast, funny enough.
podcast going crazy, but as I say,
so our goal this year for the YouTube channel is to get past 1,000 subscribers and to get, you know, as many watched video minutes as possible, or hours, hopefully. So, you know, that's a target we've set ourselves and a goal we've set ourselves for our you know, our YouTube channel, those two IM guys, this year. And you've got to set targets and goals, James. What have you got to aim for? You know.
Yeah. It's that saying, isn't it? If you don't have a destination in mind, how do you know when you get there? And it's so true. I mean, really.
Hi guys, Tony and James are now back. Sorry about that. It wasn't James's fault on this occasion, it was mine. My internet just dropped completely out for some reason, so we just wanted to jump back on and finish this particular episode, and obviously thank you guys for watching and listening to us throughout 2021 and the start of this year. Yeah, so James, apologies to you, it was my fault on this occasion.
Yeah, I'll like that. You know, it's not my fault. Yeah, so that's good. Put you up for that one.
Yeah. So yeah, sorry to, you know, be so abrupt and freeze up on you there, but it was outside of my control, unfortunately. The internet has no favorites, does it?
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Okay, so I think just before we were rudely interrupted, we were talking about setting targets and goals. I explained about what ours is for our YouTube channel, those two IM guys this year. And setting targets and goals is super important, whatever you're doing online, guys. You've got to have them, yeah?
Absolutely. And again, obviously, don't set yourself unrealistic goals, and set yourself incremental goals on the journey, because when you celebrate a little win, it goes a long way and it gives you more motivation to carry on to the next win and the next win. And before you know it, you'll get to the real goal that you ultimately set out.
Yeah, I totally agree with everything you've said there, James. I think that's great advice from you. Yeah, the word there is achievable. You know, don't be unrealistic, guys. Don't set yourself, you know, I'm going to earn $1 million online in the first 12 months, because trust me, there's not many people that will succeed with that goal. Yeah, so, like James says, set yourself achievable targets, bite-sized chunks that you can hit. You know, usually most people do them every quarter, James, don't they?
Yeah, I set goals daily.
The ultimate target being at the end of the year. Yeah.
Yeah, I set daily goals, weekly goals, monthly goals, and then ultimately an end target goal, you know. But again, guys, we've all seen those sales letters with the guy in front of the mansion with a beautiful girl and the Ferrari, and then he turns around and just at the bottom of the drive, there's also the sea and the yachts there, and it's all his. And he was actually a bin collector 2 weeks before, but he started this online. It's not real. Please, please, please. That is all possible. Okay, yeah. But it depends on how far you're prepared to take it. I'm not prepared to put the time, effort, and madness into having that lifestyle. I've got pretty much the perfect lifestyle right now, and I now want to just maintain that and maybe gain a little bit here and there. But ultimately, set out, think about the end in mind, and you will do well.
I think good advice, James, would be to have the mindset that everything you come across online is fake until it's proven otherwise. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a pessimistic way to look at things, but you won't be caught out and you won't be ripped off if you.
Yeah, but you have to be, James, don't you? You have to be careful, because as in that example you just gave, the big mansion, the yacht, the Ferrari on the driveway, what these people do, and don't think we're making this up, guys, it's true, they hire these things for the day. Yeah.
Yeah, so sorry, that's my valeter for my Ferraris, just about. Yeah, just the usual. Yeah, do the big. Yeah, okay, sorry. Right.
Oh God, we do love our sense of humor in the show, don't we?
Of course.
But yeah, everything can be attained, guys, for very little money these days. Remember that. So if you want to hire for a Ferrari for a couple of hours, a mansion for half a day to do a photo shoot, you know, not all the time. You know, there are some real people out there that have got these real successes in their lives, James, no doubt about it.
Of course.
Again, success is down to the individual though, isn't it?
It's your definition of success.
Correct, yeah.
If your definition of success is having a huge mansion, all that glamour and working yourself to the absolute bone and hustling like a demon 7 days a week and having no life because everything's got to be on social media to keep feeding that machine, then that is my nightmare, not my success.
Yeah.
You know,
it's horses for courses, isn't it? You know, like
absolutely.
you said, it's the individual's interpretation of success. And guys, if that's your inspiration, fantastic. There's nothing wrong with that. And don't let anybody tell you there is. You know, if your inspiration is to have a, you know, a big mansion, a Ferrari on the driveway, fantastic. Use that inspiration to your advantage. Yeah, you know, whatever that inspiration is, use it to your advantage, guys, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, and I know James agrees with this, we'll start wrapping the show up, James, because I think we've been pretty clear on this episode.
Yeah.
About the New Year reality check, what people need to be focusing on.
Definitely.
But, and I know you're a big fan of multiple streams of income. I was just going to say, guys, you know, don't rely on just one source of income, but you have to get one thing right first before you can move on to the next one. Because if you've got 10 things going on at once, what's going to happen, James?
You're getting pulled every way but the right way, and you spread yourself too thin and you never get anything finished, and nobody wants to be a busy fool making no money.
Yeah, nothing will ever get finished. You'll end up with 8, 9, 10 half-finished projects, and again that leads to disillusion. It leads to no money in your bank account. So focus on one thing at a time, with the long-term goal, the long-term target being to, you know, rinse and repeat that and ultimately have multiple sources of income. Yeah,
absolutely.
I would also say, you know, diversifying those sources as well, James. You know, don't just have the same niche, for example, or the same type of software or the same type of training board, unless you're, you know, obviously the only exception to that would be if you're creating a particular brand.
Yeah, again, if you've got a brand and it's particularly, and again, a lot of people here, they'll be seeing that people are launching new products all the time. You might only want to release one product, an evergreen product, and make it bigger and better, and for your people that absolutely adore it. And if it's on a SaaS subscriptions, which is software as a service, then that's something that you can do. You can grow your audience and work with that. Or you might be somebody that's like us, that we've worked on various things before. We're now working on a SaaS project anyway. But the reality is, it's diversifying and trying different things, because not everybody's in the make money online niche. You know, I mean, I've got projects on the offline niches. Tony's got projects in graphic design niches. You know, although he's not a graphic designer, quite strange though. But yeah, it's quite funny that.
I think that just proves, James, you don't have to be an expert in that field to actually create quality products, do you?
Yeah, and again, I think that's pretty impressive, and you are as a perfect example for that, because I mean, you know the business and you've got a vision of a graphic product, but you're not a graphic designer. So what do you
James, do you remember back in the day when people took apprenticeships, they were time served?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's fair to say in the online building a business, making money online niche, I'm time served. You know,
definitely. And you know all the tools now, you know all the tricks, and you know all the developers.
Yeah, and you know, if you're going down the developer route, guys, if you want to create a software, for example, there's millions, hundreds of thousands of developers out there. It takes time to find the right ones and build your team.
Yeah.
And I've gone through many bad ones before I found good ones, I promise you. And it costs, you know, it's a learning curve, and it costs you money sometimes doing that, but it's a necessary part of the process, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's
as James said, you know, as James said, diversify. Yeah. So you've got money coming in from multiple sources, and focus on creating passive income sources whenever you can, because that really will help you, you know, to keep growing your income, even when you take a break, James. You've still got that money coming in, even if you want to take 6 months off.
Yeah, and there's nothing better than getting a little bit of passive income coming in. You know, I mean, obviously I rent property, you know, and that money comes in every month, whether I'm in my home or whether I'm
Yeah.
holiday or wherever I am, you know, that money still comes in. And again, we've got the online stuff as well. And again, diversifying is just so important, because if one thing dries up, I always kind of put it back to in the UK here when we had mad cow disease, VSE. There was third and fourth generation butcher businesses that literally went down the tubes.
Yeah.
But if you've got 3 or 4 different strings to your bow, then you can rely on the other 2 or 3 things that are carrying you till you find the other thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And with the thing is, with passive income sources as well, they're not all going to run at the same level all the time.
No.
So, you know, if you're relying upon one income stream and that dries up, you've got no money.
Yeah.
But if you've got 10 and 8 of those do particularly well one month, and that particular month the other 2 don't do great, then the following month those 2 do great and the other 8 are sort of mediocre, it sort of evens itself out over a period of time, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
But the other thing I would say that people really need to make sure they're doing while they're building their online business is build your list, guys. Build your list. The old saying that still is true today as it was 10 years ago is the money is in the list. It's still exactly the same in 2022. Yeah.
Even back 100 years ago, Tony, when people were doing email newsletter, actual physical mailings, the money's always been in the list.
Anybody that tells you that email marketing doesn't work in 2022, ignore them, right? Because it's not true. Email marketing works now, and it still will do in the future. It still has a place in making money online in modern times, and going forward. So build your list, guys. Super important, because remember, as I just said, the money is in the list. The other thing I would say, James, as well, and I know you love automation, so automate your marketing systems through a sales funnel, which can include
chatbots.
It includes emails, includes advertising. Automate everything whenever you can. It's going to take a lot of the burden off you.
And also, you can pay. I mean, when you think about this, and again, obviously, I'm going a bit deep here, but if you need certain things done, then you can pay someone to do those chatbots or whatever, these autoresponder systems. But if you don't have them there, you have to pay an employee, and you need to pay that employee every month, as opposed to if you pay someone once to do the work, and it might be more than what it costs to hire an employee for that 1 month, but you won't have to pay them again, not unless you need them to do a little tweak here and there. So things like that, realize that these are investments to save you. You're buying back your time, and there's nothing more valuable on this planet than what you've got is time, because you can always make more money.
Totally agree. And I think the thing to remember, James, as well, is that the core product really is you, isn't it?
Of course.
It's you as the individual. You're your own brand, so you need to develop that brand and make it something that people know you and respect you for as an expert in that particular topic or field.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's nothing wrong with that. If you look at all the top gurus and everything online, they're not using a product name most of the time, James. They're using their own name, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
They are the brand. So remember that when you're building your business online. I think another bit of advice I'd like to give people is, balance everything out by selling other people's products with products of their own that they like. It can include, even things like books, James, video courses, consulting, softwares.
Now, obviously, Tony, just before we go any further, just so that we can rewind back slightly, talking about you as the brand. Remember, there's going to be some people here that are not affiliate marketers, or they're not product creators. They might be Shopify people. They might be creating a brand that they're hoping to eventually exit strategy. So realize at the start, what are you? Are you the brand, or is the product the brand, or is there a theme around the brand? Work out where you're going with it, so that you know that you're taking that brand in the right direction.
I think you'll find, James, and I know a couple of really successful Shopify people that they do affiliate promotions to their audience all the time.
Right.
But it's products that they come across that they actually love and use themselves. And they want to let their audience know about it. And you know, they will obviously earn commission as an affiliate from that, but they're also letting their audience know about an amazing product that they can stand behind and they use themselves. Yeah. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No, not at all. But it's always good.
It's a good trade-off. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, you need to balance things out, guys, between, you know, developing your own products, promoting other people's products as an affiliate if you want to do that. But make sure that, as we just said, they're products that you stand behind and preferably use yourself.
Yeah, because we don't want to be just selling for selling's sake. I mean, really, and the thing is, remember, you're doing someone a favor. See if you've genuinely found a product that is genuinely making your life easier. You know, there's no harm in sharing that with people, because you're giving them good advice, whether they choose to act on it, whether they buy it from you or whether they buy it from somebody else. You've still given them great value by telling them about that product. It's not the first time I've seen a video somewhere or an email from someone about a product. I've read what they've said about it. I've done my research. I found that I could get a better deal elsewhere.
Yeah.
And I've bought it. You know, if there's not a better deal elsewhere, I'm going to buy it from the person that I'm loyal to. But if there's a better deal, then I'm going to look elsewhere, and I'm still going to be grateful for that person sharing that knowledge and insight, because no doubt I'll buy something from that person in the future anyway.
Yeah, and it's like with everything we say, James, whatever you're looking to buy, whether it's through an affiliate, you know, through somebody you trust and you respect, you may be a customer of theirs by buying one of their products, as my customers do, you know, that they buy products that I promote. Because they're customers of mine and they've purchased one or multiple products of mine in the past. Yeah. But I think the thing to remember, and I want to make our viewers and listeners aware of this out there, not all affiliates have the same ethics.
No.
They will try and sell you anything, guys.
Absolutely.
All they're bothered about is conversions and prize money. Because believe it or not, when a vendor does a launch, they have an affiliate competition, which includes cash prizes.
Yeah.
For the affiliate that makes the most sales, and a lot of, you know, people starting out don't even realize that.
Yeah.
So you've got to work out: is the person promoting this to me because they truly like the product and they stand behind it, or they use it themselves, or just because
they're completely mercenary and they want to make money
because they want to win a JV competition? And you know, the product's a proven product to convert. So, you know, be skeptical, guys. There's nothing wrong with that. Do your research, do your due diligence, as we always
Something else I want to put in here that I learned from you, Tony, and I think our guys would really love it.
Sure.
See if you've got a preferred vendor that you like to buy from, and they've got, even if they're not promoting a product that you actually want to buy, reach out to that person and say, listen, are you an affiliate for this product? If you're not, I want to buy this product and I'm interested in certain bonuses. Could you do this bonus or that bonus for me in exchange if I buy it from you? Ask the question, because Tony, I think it's fair to assume that me and you are pretty flexible and go out our way for our people. You know, we want to look after our own affiliates, the people that buy from us. So if someone asks me, oh, can I get access to one of your products that you've never released, you've never created as a bonus, and it's something that I released previously, I'm going to be okay with that. 9 times out of 10.
Yeah. That literally happened to me last week, James. I was actually promoting the product, but I got contacted by one of my customers who said, Tony, you've got a particular product that I didn't purchase. I missed out when it was launched. I missed out on being able to buy it. Would you give me that as a bonus if I buy this product you're promoting through you as an affiliate? So it's a no-brainer, James. Yeah.
Of course. Because remember, it's digital products, guys. We've spent the money, we've done the work for it, and it's there, and obviously it's still making money. But if you missed out on that at the time, you know, are we quite happy to, if we've made our money from that product, are we quite happy to still give you an opportunity to get in on that if you're buying something else from us? Of course we are, you know, but be realistic. If it's a $2,000 product and we're promoting a $7 product, then we're not going to, it's got to be something of, we've got to kind of come and go with each other, you know.
It's got to be.
Ask the question.
You know, the value of the bonus has got to be relevant to the product that's being purchased, isn't it?
You know,
for the exact reason you just said. Yeah.
We spoke about earlier. I was going to say the fear of failure. Some people are so frightened of the fear of rejection as well, But you know, see if you contact me, say, listen, James, I want $10,000 worth of stuff if I buy this $7 product. I'm going to say, no, I'm sorry, I can't do that, but I can do this. You know.
Well, James, you know yourself. I mean, I do when I do my bonus pages, I have particular bonuses for someone buying the front end product.
Yep.
And OTOs, which are one-time offers, guys, which form part of the funnel. So they're basically upgrades to the initial product you buy usually. I have special bonuses for anyone that buys any of the OTOs.
Yeah, I do that as well. I learned that from you.
And you're learning a lot from me, man.
I'm learning a lot from you, mate. It's the only reason I hang about you.
Again, guys, I think what that just highlights is what we were saying earlier in the episode. Surround yourself by like-minded people.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
And you know, I'm joking about that with James, but trust me, I've learned some great things off him as well. So it's a reciprocal relationship, as we say.
Definitely, we definitely can gain from each other without.
But yeah, that's pretty much the end of it that I want to discuss in this episode, James. I genuinely hope our viewers and listeners have you know, got some golden nuggets out of that and some very valuable information.
And it has been a longer one, Tony, today. And the reason I'm glad it was longer, it was a little bit deeper thinking and a lot more getting into it, because guys, we really want you to succeed. And if it means you spending an hour to an hour and 30 minutes listening to us, and it's going to give you the solid foundations that you need to make your 2022 the best year ever, then it's been 90 minutes well invested, you know. And I don't even know if it's went as long as that, but it certainly went longer than we usually go. But again, don't be frightened of failure. You know, don't be frightened to ask fear of rejection. Don't be frightened of what other people think. You know, oh, you're an online guy. Just don't be frightened, because see, the fear is something that's in here. It's got nothing to do with reality, you know, about what will the neighbour say, or what will this one say. Who cares? Is that person paying your mortgage? Are they paying for your car or your holidays, or feeding your kids, or putting the shoes on their feet? No, they're not. So they really, in the grand scale of things, do not matter. Okay, as long as you're running your business honestly, ethically, and you're giving more value than you're charging for, then you're doing the right thing for you and yours. Okay, so guys, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Those Two IM Guys. Yeah, Tony?
Sorry, James, just want to say one more thing. Yeah, as you've just said, I hope this episode's been valuable for our viewers and listeners, because it really sums up everything that they need to be considering to, you know, start an online business and make money online. But just to finish on, remember, guys, you know, you never lose, you learn.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The only time you ever lose is when you give in.
Yep.
And all these feelings that James has just been talking about self-doubt, scared of failure, etc., they're normal. James felt those feelings. I felt those feelings. But you have to overcome those. Because if you don't, you'd never do anything in life, would you?
And if you're honest, I mean, I still have those fears. Who am I here to be talking on a podcast? There's people that are have more expertise than me, have more money than me, have more everything than me. But do you know what? I'm the person that's taking my time out of my day to actually give this value, the same as you are, Tony, to our people. And I'm thinking that they might be slightly a few pegs below us in the process. And again, who knows? The people that we're helping now might be the people that are helping us in a couple of years' time, because they've hit on something super spectacular and they realise that we were instrumental in helping them get into where they are. Maybe they'll give us a leg up to the next level. You don't know how this journey goes, because it's not, we don't all go at the same pace. There's some superstars here. There's some people that all kind of just potter about making an extra couple of $100 a month because it pays for their upgrade on the car that they wanted to buy. Or there'll be superstars that will be living the Grant Cardone lifestyle. Who knows? You know, I mean, it's really just down to whoever you want to be, you know?
Yeah. And again, that just basically sums up what we were saying earlier about surrounding yourself with like-minded people. Yeah,
absolutely. So Tony, it's been a good one. Have you enjoyed it?
Yeah,
I've enjoyed it too, guys. We really hope you've enjoyed it. And again, as I say, reach out to us. We do want you, we're going to ask a favor of you though. Please start sharing the YouTube videos with your friends, helping us get more subscribers, because we genuinely, we need to get this 1,000 subscribers in 2022, because we want to make sure that we're not just here talking nonsense for nonsense sake. I mean, we're here trying to give value, and we want to make sure that people are gaining value. If not, we could be putting this time into our own projects, you know. So let us know if you're getting the value from it. Comment in the podcasts. Don't forget to sign up to our newsletter through those2imguys.com.
Yeah. Drop a comment below the video as well, James.
What's that, sorry?
Drop a comment below the video.
Comment on the videos, absolutely. Yeah. It's really important.
Ring that bell so you get the notifications. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. All those cool things, yeah. And
share it with your friends, you know, because there's people out there that you might not even realize could be benefiting from what we're offering. You know, as I say, we give it freely, you know, we give it willingly, and we hopefully that you're going to gain value from it. So please support us to help keeping this project going forward. Right, on that note, I think it's time to call it a day. And again, guys, wishes absolutely all the best in 2022. We really do hope you bring all your dreams to fruition, and we hopefully look forward to seeing you in another episode of Those Two IM Guys very soon. See you later. Bye.
Have a great 2022, guys.
Bye.
Bye for now.
Yeah, guys. Bye-bye.